So in this short tutorial, we're going to take a look at how we can use insert page break in between different elements of our manuscript in Microsoft Word. This is incredibly helpful as you move forward revising your collection. If I were to place everything by hitting the return button, right, and then decide to come up and add space somewhere else, it's going to shift things up and down throughout the course of the whole manuscript. So to involve fewer pages as we're making changes, what we can do is identify what should be on a page and include a page break. So this information will probably appear on my cover and on my title page perhaps, and so I know that I'm going to want to have the author's last name, my name, on a different page than the epigraph, the quote that I'd like to include for my readers. So I'm going to put my cursor right below my name, come up to Insert, and then over here on the far left, I'm going to click on Page Break. And just like magic, it automatically moves my quote to the next page. I know my quote will not be on the same page as my table of contents. So I can put my cursor right there, right above, or right next to Table of Contents, come back up to the left corner under Insert and click on Page Break. So what I'm doing is putting in kind of an invisible line inside the Word document to tell the computer program to separate these things by page, right? This will appear at the very top of the page, even if I come back in and I insert a cover page, a title page. Maybe I want to include a couple of white pages so that I have a variety of opportunities for things to start on the right-hand side of the page. And we'll talk about that in another video. But however much I add in, my table of contents title will start on line 1. I'm not going to put a page break in between those two titles because they're part of the same section. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have kind of an entity, your poem goes over 2 or 3 pages, I'm not putting a page break after the end of every single page. I'm doing it between elements. So here I have my first poem starting on page 1. I'm not going to put breaks in between stanzas, right? I want that all to appear on the same page. But I do want to make sure that the next title of my next poem starts on the first line of a page always. So I'm going to come in and hit page break so that those two things are separate entities. Come down, right? I have a new title. Okay. Here I have one that's pretty clear that wasn't a break. So I can backspace once just to make sure that I have a break in there. If I end up with an extra page I don't need, I can put my cursor on that page, right, and delete. So you can kind of go through. You can always go in and add something if you decide you need it later. You realize, oh, well, those two things aren't separated by it. I've already come in and kind of pre-done the page breaks on here, so be ready for the next part of the video. But you can take a look and see that having those breaks lets us know when a new poem is starting by putting the title on the very next page, the first line, and that really, really helps with subsequent revisions later on. I'll see you for the next video where we talk about inserting page numbers.